Maybe if just everyone could walk me through about their approach to Wi-Fi security. I mean, David, how about you? I know you're a fiber to the home provider, but obviously in your house, in the houses you serve, they'll be using Wi-Fi. How do you help your customers, with that?
So yeah, absolutely. That wired connection on the back of our ONT is just the beginning of what our customers are doing with our service, right? So, in fact, we believe the vast majority of devices they have in their home today are Wi-Fi enabled. For a residential customer, we are looking at roundups of routers that are out there on the internet from reviewers out there that spend the time to review all the different home routers you can run to your local Best Buy or Target or whatever store you might want to purchase from and bring to your house, but they're not all created equal. So we need to make sure the routers that we're recommending, that we try to refresh a couple times a year, are going to meet the latest Wi-Fi security standards that are out there, and will work with our service. But really, a lot of it comes down to customer education, and that's a difficult thing to manage because not every customer has the same level of technical knowledge, and that's where a managed Wi-Fi solution is something we continue to look at. And we've taken a stab at how we would make that work, and just haven't quite crossed the finish line on making that happen. But we believe the demand is out there.
David, I want to come back to something you said, and I looked at your website. I mean, you guys give recommendations of what routers you can buy. I mean, how do you manage that from a customer? When a customer calls in, my router's not working, what do you?
Well, it's a slippery slope, right? And again, we're saying we recommend. We've tested specific routers after looking at roundups out there and saying, hey, we brought these in, we've tested them with our service. We know that the range works well. Even if somebody buys a router that we know will work with our service, if they haven't configured it correctly, they're not going to get the security to make sure that their network works. Their devices may not have the range. It's certainly something that is a challenge for us. It's going to be customer education and walking customers through, but our reps don't know every router manufacturer's interface and the settings on every single one of those. We do the best that we can to help those customers to make sure that the router that they have can meet our needs. And most routers you can pick up at a local store will get those speeds, whereas 5-10 years ago, that wasn't necessarily the case. I mean, now we're having challenges of, we offer a 2 gig package that you can't buy a router locally that can get those speeds, right? And if you could, you wouldn't want to pay the dollar figure that you'd have to actually make it work today. But 5 years from now, that we'll be laughing about that, because you'll be able to go buy a 10 gig router in your local store for $200, like you can today, one that does 1 gig. But it's really a lot of customer education.